So yeah, we here, and let me blow you up real quick, baby. So yeah, we here. So peace, everybody. How y'all doing? Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. We got 21 people watching. So yeah, it's been amazing, and we done finally made it to that day. I know that you didn't really want to take it this far, but um, I'm just as anxious to learn about what has happened and transpired as everybody else because I was trying to get the 411 behind the scenes, y'all, and she was not telling me, So I don't really, for myself, I really don't know much as what we heard over on her channel. So you went to court, you didn't see the other party, you know. That I do know because you
I'm in a
texted
bad
me.
area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see my area.
Oh, you breaking up, babe. Uh,
The lonely here, so
yeah, your audio's breaking
that
up
area.
bad now.
I can't hear all the show. Like come back.
All right, what I'm gonna do, I'm because I'm on OBS, I can call her. And so I'm gonna call her on through Skype on my phone, on my computer rather, and that'll allow y'all to hear her crystal clear. So what we really need from her is to hear crystal clear what happened. So
Drop.
they can hear you. They can hear you because this is the computer's being broadcast. So we
Oh,
broadcasting right now.
okay.
All right. So it sounds better anyway. So peace
Oh,
everybody. We
okay.
we have we do have Kiki on the phone and
Hi, everybody.
yeah, so y'all can hear actually better than what you can on StreamYard. So matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and close that out since I don't need it. Well, matter of fact, I'll just change the avatar. We do that. Well, yeah. I was just telling everybody like I'm just as anxious to know what happened today as anybody else because I was trying
Yeah.
to let them know. I tried talking to you about it. You was like, "Nah, you gonna actually wait till we go live." So,
Yeah.
so all I know is that you didn't see the other party there. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you exactly what happened. I showed up. Of course, I'm looking around to see if I see anybody. I mostly see like Hispanic people. I only see like a couple of other black people, and it looks like they're there for their own cases. There's a bunch of police officers in the front of the courtroom when I actually get to the courtroom that I was supposed to go to. So I went inside the courtroom, right? I think at like 5 minutes till 9. Like as soon as I got in there, pretty much they were like, "All rise." The judge came out. It wasn't the judge that I saw initially, so I was kind of shocked. The judge that I saw initially was a black man. This judge was an older white gentleman,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, okay. So I know that the African American judge had told me that I could bring my laptop since a lot of my evidence is digital. So I did bring my laptop, but I also brought printout copies of everything that I gathered. And I also uploaded everything privately to a certain account in case I couldn't get the audio to work on the laptop for whatever reason. I just wanted to make sure that I have myself covered. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure. Can you hear me? Am I still clear?
Oh, you good. You
Oh,
good.
you good. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that I had, all bases covered and there was not going to be any fumble or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
everything, they came in and they said, you have to turn your cell phones off. Well, not turn them off, but put them on vibrate or whatever. So they were like, phones cannot be used in the courtroom at all. So I was like, very glad that I brought my laptop because I had my laptop open and no one said anything about it. I was typing on the laptop, I was downloading stuff, and no one had a problem with me having the laptop. So I looked around, and then there was a young African American male that came in and sat behind me, and he didn't look like he was there for any case really in particular. He didn't have any paper with him. He had no one with him. He was just sitting there, and he was dressed like nice, like not like dressed up or anything, but he was dressed like, got a nice little office job, casual, you know, business casual. So I was like, maybe is that Mr. Bomb Cherry? So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm looking at him like kind of side eye, sir, but okay. So they called, and I was surprised because I'm never the first person on the docket, like ever. I've never been first. So I'm glad that I showed up on time. So I was the first person on the docket. I was looking around for any raggedy Halloween witches or anything like that, and I didn't see any there because most of the people that I go to court with are very raggedy, and I didn't see anyone there that was very raggedy. So I realized that this person was not going to show up. So
Yeah.
the judge called the other person's name, and of course, no one responded. The judge told me to come up to the left side of the table, so I started to walk up to the left top side of the table, and the bailiff was like, no, 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 walk around. Like Virginia has this thing, like they don't want you to walk on a certain side of the room. They don't want you to da 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 da. So okay, fine. So I had to go walk around the back of the room. All eyes on me, child. You know I'm shy. So I'm like, oh Lord. So I walked around, and then I walked up to the front, and once again the judge spoke, and I didn't have to say much. So he was telling me that the other person had not been served, that they attempted to serve the person, but she had not been served. So he had to continue the case. And so I said, well, this person is aware that we're trying to serve her with the summons, but she is avoiding service, and she's known to do that. And could we possibly do a substitute service? And he said, well, I can't give you legal advice, but we want to make sure that the person is served. So what I'm going to do is extend the protection order that you have, which is a preliminary protection order that they normally do for 15 days. He said, I'm going to extend that for 2 months. So we're going to give her an opportunity to be heard and come back here in right after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, baby. So so I do have an order of protection for 2 months. So I said, okay. And then after the case, I had to wait for the paperwork to be given to me. So while I'm waiting on the paperwork to be given to me, there's a fire alarm, and we all have to exit the courtroom, right? So we all left the courtroom, and then I saw this attorney that I made friends with when I was there before. She's a very popular attorney. She is badass. And so I spoke to her, and then I went back in and I got my paperwork, and I came back out, and she was finishing up with some clients. So I spoke to her. She's a very good attorney. So I told her, I said, this person avoids service, and, you and I spoke, and we spoke about substitute service, and she said, service by publication, yeah. She said, well, the problem is that judges don't really like to do that because, he's already granted you a protection order, basically. And I said, but it's the preliminary. She said, it's the same thing. She said,
Oh.
just make sure that you carry it with you at all times. She said, you have an order of protection against her. And if you have to call the cops for any reason, if she's in, the vicinity, if she violates that protection order, then you can call the cops and she will be arrested. And the thing is, before judges just want to throw someone in jail, they want to make sure that they had the opportunity to know that there's a protection order. She said, so this can go on for 2 years. If you just want to come back and get it extended every couple of months, then come back every couple of months. But make sure that you carry that document with you because that is your protection. You do have a protection order in place against her. And I said, oh, okay, thank you. So all
It's
there is paying for publication and doing all that. I don't even need to do all that. I could just come up here every for every couple of months for the next 2 years. I have an order of protection against you, ma'am, and the courts will just get to know you more and more and more, and know that you're evading court more and more and more. And if anyone else decides to put any paperwork on you, they're going to see that paperwork is in the system already.
all right. So now that we have that, so like as of right now, do you mind me saying names? Or
Oh, you can say her name. You can
okay,
say her name.
so the YouTuber that she's talking about that she has the order of protection on right now is who you guys know as VS Icon. Um, they've had a history for a long time, going back to the IHOP situation, and Kiki was there firsthand to see her act out an action of violence. It's she actually saw what happened that day. So dealing with someone like that and that described the outside of her home. You want to talk about some of the things that you pointed out, like she described outside of your home,
Yeah.
the four-way
So
stop,
for
things of
instance,
nature.
we met like probably half a decade ago, which is like 5 years ago. It's half a decade, right? So and when we ran into each other, this is before this beefing sector thing started. Um, we didn't like each other's vibes immediately. I'm angelic, she's devilish. We didn't like each other. Cool, whatever. We had words, but it was internet fodder. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. So then the sector was formed, and I realized that she's gonna be a fixture there. I'm gonna be a fixture there. Information being passed out. Like I realized, oh, we live in the same area. Surely she couldn't act like this in real life. So, you know what? She doesn't have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with her. So she and I both agreed to meet up and just, bury the hatchet and, get to know each other and we'll be okay. We're cool. That's all I'm thinking that it was. And that's it. So we meet up. Another unidentified individual show up while I'm there. And this person and her have words and they're talking about violent things towards each other, and I'm in disagreement with the whole thing, and I'm saying no to both of them.
Okay,
No.
I
So,
kind of want to pause you right there. That lady, I think her name is Shireen, right? She came to my
yeah.
channel around right after Rob got arrested, and for whatever reason, told everything about that event and her getting jumped by that lady. So, but go ahead.
So the lady was leaving actually, and I was like, "All right, ma'am."
Mm.
And then so the woman who I now have a protection order against, she violently ran behind the lady, attacked her, brutally beating her in the head and knocking her to the ground. Then she subsequently sat on her and would not allow her to leave. And after the people in the restaurant rushed out to find out what was the commotion, what was happening, the woman came back to the table, the woman that I have the protection order against. She grabbed her items and then she fled the scene. All right? So she was wanted. There was actually a warrant placed out for her arrest. She was wanted. And while she was wanted, she was sitting home going live.
Wow.
Eventually, she turned herself in on the weekend like a complete fool, because everyone knows if you go to jail on the weekend, you're going to be in there.
Oh
So
wow.
anyway, she waited till the weekend. Yeah, like, come on now. She waited till the weekend. She turned herself in, and she got locked up. She thought it was going to be for a day or two, but it actually turned out to be like a week. So she is a criminal. She does have a criminal past. She was initially charged with, I think, 2 felony counts, one abduction, and the other one assault and battery. They later reduced them both to misdemeanor charges. One of them was reduced to disorderly conduct, and the other one was, assault and battery, what it was. And she was put on probation and banned from social media for 3 years. Immediately after her ban, she returned to YouTube. Coincidentally, I returned to YouTube as well. I appeared on a channel in the beef sector of one of the popular, content creators over here that, a lot of people are cool with him. It was always a safe space to go. When I appeared over there, her now ex-best friend asked the content creator if I mind if she came onto the platform. This was my initial whatever with her in 2023. This was February of 2023. She came onto the platform and hold on, I want to tell you guys accurately what happened. I don't want to leave out any details. Hold on, give me a second. Which I have all of
And
this.
I do know, guys, that part that was used in her evidence. That incident, that meeting, while she's getting whatever she's getting. So
Yeah.
I do know that part.
So, yeah. So she came onto the platform. And when she was banned before, there was a petition against her. Over 3,000 people signed to get her off of the internet. She came onto the platform where I was, and hold on, there's so much stuff here. I'm so sorry, guys. There's
Do
so much.
you mind saying the platform name or not?
I don't want to say the platform name because I don't want people mad at me unnecessarily, and
Okay.
I don't. I'm not saying that that person
Yeah,
is
it's not
me,
their business. So
but
it's, yeah, you don't want to
yeah,
throw them in this. Okay.
yeah. So, anyways, so so much time had gone on. You know what I mean? It had been 3 years since our last encounter.
Mhm.
I had evolved during that time, and considering the consequences that she faced, I assumed that she might have changed as well. And I didn't believe at that time that I was in immediate danger. So I agreed to her return while I was present on the platform. Um, she confronted me when she was on the platform. She confronted me and accused me of following her and her now adult children. She went further, discussing an ex-boyfriend of mine and revealing how she dated him. She disclosed my workplace location as well as details about me and the gentleman's whereabouts and experiences during our tenure. And in an unsettling turn, she proposed a threesome, which I promptly declined. During
Okay.
that same stream, go ahead.
I think you're missing a crucial part of that. She said I think I've seen that. It says I've been looking for you for 3 years.
Yeah, she did. She said that I've been running from her for 3 years on
Yeah.
that same stream.
Mhm.
She said that she knows that I saw her when I was on my way to work. Um, she talked about my transportation back and forth to the gentleman's house and where the gentleman lived in proximity to my workplace. And then she said, "Yeah, you've been running from me for 3 years," and that's on video.
So
She said,
like I'm gonna let you keep going, but that seemed a little creepy when someone say they've been looking for you for 3 years and they know about
for 3 years,
you going to work and
social
your
relationship.
social relationship as far as who you've been dating. That's a weirdo. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so she did. And I said, "You've been looking for me for 3 years." And so, yeah, she proceeded to say, "Yeah." And then she claimed that she spotted me on the freeway, asserting that I've been, evading her for 3 years. And then to add to the intensity of the situation, she suggested at that time that we meet up face to face to fight. And that is on video.
So she wanted to have.
Okay?
So she either she wanted to have sex or she wanted to fight. Well, like what? But
I don't know.
yeah, it was weird.
Well,
Yeah, but that was that time. So you
yeah.
yeah.
About a week after that, I happened to go to my local Walmart here. There's a tiny Walmart in our neighborhood, and then there's the bigger Walmart, which is a little bit, a few more blocks away. It's actually right next to the mall that my daughter was forced to leave because someone else disclosed her workplace. Um, so I went there as it was closing, and I parked. I later found out that I had parked, next to her. But the funny thing is, I wasn't even driving my car, and the person I was with didn't know anything about her. And not only that, that was not the same vehicle that I met her in. When I met her a decade ago, she was driving a white Ford. This vehicle that she was in was like a 1967 BMW, so it was not the same vehicle at all. It was a
Mm.
vintage, if you want to call it, BMW. So I saw her there. I didn't know who she was. It was late at night. I didn't recognize the vehicle. I had not seen this woman in 3 years. I was not looking for her. So I was walking towards the store because it was going to close, and I was in a rush to get to the store. As I was walking, a car door flung open, and someone said, "Kiki." I was taken aback. I looked. It was an older woman. Her face was kind of hard. I don't really know people like that in real life.
Face kind of
So,
hard.
yeah, her face was kind of hard. It looked like she smoked Newports, perhaps. Yeah,
Mm.
it doesn't looks like the type of woman that walks on the back of her shoes and wears a comb in the back of her hair, just sitting there. And so it just didn't look like I would deal with that type of person in real life. So I was taken aback. And she was like, "Take it," and then the way she was, vehemently screaming my name. So I proceeded to walk towards the store. I got inside of the store, realizing that the entry doors to the store were actually closed and locked because the store was closed. So at that time, I looked over to my acquaintance and I said, I do not want to walk back past that woman because she has mental issues. She's crazy. And he said, don't worry, I will go and get your vehicle. Just walk to the side of the store where the benches are and stand there. I'll pick you up. I said, okay, good idea. So I walked to the side of the store, and and he went and got my vehicle, and he drove to pick me up right there on the side of Walmart, and he stopped. Immediately when he stopped, I opened my car door to get in. Her car drove in front of mine from the parking lot and abruptly stopped. So my car could not go forward because she was stopped right in front of it. At that time, she jumped out. Now the trauma is coming back to me that I suffered when she did that to that poor, defenseless, elderly woman at IHOP. The same trauma came back. Like, this lady is really crazy for real. So she jumped out. She jumped into my friend's face who was driving, and she started yelling that he was following her and her children. The guy had no idea what she was talking about. The guy was confused. The guy was actually a foreigner. It was actually an African guy. They typically don't behave like that. And it was unfortunately that she would, perpetuate that stereotype of African-American women by having that type of behavior. So he was kind of nervous and anxious, and he didn't know what was going on. He had never seen me in the company of this type of person. And I was trying to reassure him that everything was okay, and also just trying to make sure that, I was going to be okay. At that point, she grabbed her son and got him out of the car and was screaming that that's her black son. And, I can clearly see that she's black. I know that. We're all black. As a matter of fact, he was black. Original black, motherland black. But anyways, so she's doing all of that and huffing and puffing and enraged, and she's in my face, like she admitted on the video, nose to nose, in my face. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And so, I'm very triggered. I'm very, very triggered. So I called the police officer, and she calls the police officer as well. The police arrive, and this lady's demeanor completely changes. She's acting like nothing's going on, like she just had a bowl of Cheerios and watched the morning news. Meanwhile, my anxiety level is at an all-time high. Okay?
Yeah.
I am traumatized. I am re-traumatized. It's just trauma. And I don't know what's happening. So I'm trying to articulate my thoughts to the police officer. I'm not able to in a calm manner. In the meantime, she's in a very, very calm state. Like she had a tranquilizer or something. I don't know. So I'm over there, and ultimately the police officers allowed her to depart, and then me soon after that, and nothing came of that. That's also on record. So I do have record of that call that I made to the police department.
Okay.
Subsequently after that, my address started appearing online as troll names. We later found out from her ex-best friend.
So hold up, before you go on that now, were you beefing with anybody else during that time? Did you have any
I was not
other
beefing with. No, I did not have any other ops.
Okay.
No.
All right.
And my address was constantly appearing in chats that I was actively involved in, and it was only a couple of chats that I was involved in, and it was really stressing me out because I know she had taken a picture of my driver's license, my license plate. She had taken a picture of my license plate. So my address started popping up, and I knew that she was behind it, and I was freaking out. And one day even, I had to leave work early, and I spoke to an attorney. I spoke to legal counsel, and that's the person who has trial tomorrow. Tried to post all that evidence, I guess trying to make me look bad, but it actually shows that I really had anxiety, and I was really trying to do what I needed to do to protect me and my family. Absolutely. I contacted an attorney to find out, what could be done. Shortly after that, I began drinking. I began drinking a lot. I mean, just my anxiety and the stress and trauma and everything that was going on. That was definitely a part of it. That was definitely a part of the reason. I won't say that was the complete reason, but it was definitely a big factor. Um, I also have video footage of her saying, right now she's drinking herself away, and that's what I want her to do. She's
Mm-hmm.
cursed because she looked at my black son, and I pray that she, and then I don't have the rest of the video, what her prayer is. I don't need to know what her prayer is. But I have told you guys that I felt like that was the end for me when I was drinking. I felt that last time that my life was in danger. And now
Mm-hmm.
we know why. And so it took me to open back up to God and start walking with God and like really giving myself to God and coming into agreement with you, with God, to break whatever that was, whatever little spell she had. It was broken. The chains were broken. And for somebody to put that over my life and wish death upon my life, she said it.
Yeah.
She said it. That she wanted the drink. She said she was sitting back watching and she wanted to see the drinks take me out. It's on record. It's on record.
Yeah. It actually is on Instagram. It's actually on Instagram.
It's actually on my laptop.
Yeah. So we have that on Insta. It's someone that recorded all this stuff is on Instagram somewhere. By I'm not gonna. It's one of my moderators that records everything. Shout out to you. I'm gonna just say it like this. You're a good mom. You know what I mean? But yeah. So after that, like I think we could kind of move forward. So you kind of chilled out. So you got yourself right. You got off alcohol. Me and you get together. There was campaigns issued against you and myself, I'll say, but more you than anything. They made this campaign that there was some kind of like romantic interest between you and this lady, and
Well,
mm,
before that, what she did, I guess as part of her little witchcraft spell, she put up this video of me when I was like drunk back in 2019, and she kept it up there on her page in spite of me asking her multiple times to take it down. So that was
mm,
always like triggering for me, and she knew it.
yeah,
But these were the things that people didn't see. This lady moves very crafty. She's very evil. She's
mm,
very demonic. And that's why I say be careful who you keep in your company. Be careful who you play with. Because she's always linking up with witches, and she always thinks they're so cool because she's into witchcraft. This woman admitted it. But the blood of Jesus is stronger than that.
oh
So
yeah.
you,
I
you
mean,
messed
let
up.
me reference that. Earlier this year, it was members of the B sector and Mo3 sector over there, mainly a group of women, denouncing God. When she had this person, the source over there. Um, we had people like 5A report on it, and different other content creators report on it around that time. I think 5A did a live called "Playing with God" and lose 1,000 people. It was 2,000 people over to hear this weirdo talk. So yeah, I mean that. So we got that. We got to that point. So we do know that she believes in that type of stuff. So now you're moving forward past that. So now you at the point where uh, there were people that were acting as minions for this
So let me
person.
let me just say this.
Mm.
You got to be right with God, or that shit can you open doors. If you're doing shit, you open doors
Yeah.
for that shit to come in. And
Mm.
that shit can work because it did have an effect on my life. But it has no effect on my life anymore. She's powerless because every day and every night I'm covered by the blood of Jesus.
Mhm.
You better believe that.
Yeah. Amen. So let's kind of move forward to that point where okay now me and you link up, and then there was this campaign that they tried to say was some kind of like romantic interest or whatever by other people that were working with her, and we know now that there were we have a person in California went to court with less than like 2 months ago I think that you know it kind of put pieces of the puzzle together why there was this campaign on that person's channel, that same person's channel, where you had people accusing you of, all kinds of weird stuff, and there was more to that meeting that day than what it was. So, um, can you talk about your experiences with that and that type of harassment?
Yeah. So basically, you had that whole mutt camp over there to just switch on me, and I don't know if it's because she played around with some evil magic, and they play around with devils, and they play around with beads, and they play around with voodoo, so that shit worked on them, or I don't know if they just voluntarily, actively participated in that shit and just turned on me and started trying to smear me with this campaign that I was lying about being gay, which I'm not gay. I don't have a problem with gay people, but I'm not gay. If I was gay, I would tell you I was gay. I never had a relationship with a woman.
Okay.
So that was a thing, and saying that I wanted to be with this woman and stuff like that. And I didn't understand the lead mutt whose life is falling apart right now was leading the charge, and that always was supposed to be my friend. And that person would call me in the background. I wasn't even on YouTube really like that. She'd call me and be like, "Oh, I'm about to go live. Come on my page. I'm about to go live." She would know that I was drunk. You can talk to a person and know that they're drunk. So just like how her friend ended up exploiting her on vacation, that's what she used to do all the time, exploit me. And I had no control over my life because of the things that I was doing. And I was not turning God. I was not turning to God. I was just like acting like God couldn't help me. God wasn't there. And you can't do that. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't. You got to pick a side. You can't play with witches and do all this crazy stuff. Me over there being around this guy that's talking about he gonna pray to ancestors and beads. I denounce all that shit. I'm with the Lord Jesus Christ. That's it. And that's why you see every prayer that we have, we ask Jesus to send that stuff right back to them.
Yeah. Now I gotta say now,
y'all see them falling apart. Y'all see them falling apart, crumbling. This is not it.
Yeah, we got one of them in the hospital right now, critical condition.
When we met up at the IHOP, I think it was the last week of December in 2019. Our next court date is the last day in December 2023.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, and I'll say this, and I think I want to get back on subject, but we know Noble himself said he cast a spell. Like I like my whole thing is I just believe in God, right? But I'm not that superstitious. But Noble did say that he was calling down Oshun and Ogun or something to do cast spells on us, and that we was gonna be all jacked up and whatever. He did say that. Now he's over there with a collapsed lung and confidence and manhood completely eviscerated and busted and disgusted. And that's a whole nother lie for me to do. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about it another time.
But no, it's just that when you play, you cannot. God says, "Do not touch mine anointed," and He meant it. So you got this woman over there. She basically killed her whole channel. She basically killed her whole channel. She has no real alliances. She done recorded these people. Even if she gets back in cahoots with them, they don't trust each other. There's no rest in that. There's unrest there. Then you have the mutt, the leader of the crew. She don't even like the man that she's with. She's lonely. She don't even have no friends no more. The one person that was there to support her is not supporting her. Her whole life is a joke and a crumble, and I think her health is deteriorating as well. I'm just going by the way that she looks, and I don't wish nothing bad on her, but I do send everything that she sent to me right back to her. Those are her wishes and her prayers, okay? And then you have this woman over there that's hiding in the closet trying to do all this stuff, and her life is in shambles as well. Every other day she come on here, she want to cry about something. That's why she's lashing out at everybody. That's why we're happy That's why we come on here and we make love videos. We sing about stuff. We're vacation. We're looking for bright things to do and happiness. But everybody that played a part in that witchcraft stuff, their life is falling apart right before our very eyes. They're fighting amongst each other. That other one, dude, I don't. I'm gonna call the court to see if you were served your warrant. I called this. I'm gonna get back on topic. We could talk about the warrant next. But go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, we had those actions when we first got together. So I know that we was doing a live, and if something happened that day, you were actually responding to something that happened. Um, I think it was after the AT2 porn bomb that happened or something like that. I'm not sure, but you went live on your own channel, and then that same night, I think you got a knock on the door, and you got some paperwork from some on a Saturday night around 8 o'clock at night. It was like
Yeah. So
Saturday, or it was like the weekend or something. And I know
right.
in Florida they have laws where you know you can't come after sundown to people's house. So I don't know how
Right.
Virginia operates, but the
Right.
weekend and sundown is like
Mhm.
forbidden. After
So
seven.
actually, cease and desist letters are okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they're okay. If they're delivered to your house, most people will mail them. But it gets tricky in the law, and you guys can Google this if you don't believe me. Cease and desist letters can be looked at as intimidation tactics, and the way that it was delivered to me was intimidation. I
Mm-hmm.
know where you live. I will send somebody to your front door. She later made videos saying that I paid someone to wait outside her house. I made sure that she was home so that she could get it. That's intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
That's intimidation. That's all that is. So that is also, a factor in this case. Like, you're doing all these things to intimidate me. You're making all these threats. Now, the threat that she made when I was on Mahea's channel, like a couple of months before
Yeah, we
that,
haven't got
was
to that yet. We haven't talked about that.
okay. Go ahead,
No, no, we haven't
because
talked
this
about that. But
happened.
yeah, yeah.
This cease and desist happened after the Mahea incident.
So let's talk about the Mahia incident. Because we skipped past that.
Okay. So Mahea had a live. Everybody was in the chat. I was in the chat too. Everybody was joking. She said something about Shireen and IHOP, and I'm like, hey, why can't I get the same, accolades? Basically, I was there too. So that just set her off over the top, and she started calling me out of my name, and she said that she dared me to go outside of my house. She said to walk to the four-way stop in front of my house. She said, no, I want everybody to understand what I'm saying, because everybody over at my hands kind of like went, whoa, oh my gosh, like what is going on? She's like, no, I want you to understand what I'm saying. I want you to go outside your house, and I can even be there, is what she said. So basically, you're telling me, if I go outside my house, and she was like, she said herself on the live, I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. I mean, she proceeded to say it. And she said it over and over. And I kept saying, I don't want to fight. I don't fight men. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. She never said, I'm not talking about fighting. She was talking about fighting. And then she said, I saw her at the grocery store. And she named the grocery store. And indeed, I was at that grocery store the day before with my daughter,
Mm.
with my 16-year-old daughter. And she said, and she was afraid to come outside. So she was actually waiting outside of the grocery store for me and my 16-year-old daughter. A woman that I sat next to who got up and beat someone in the back of the head wanted me to come outside of the grocery store with my 16-year-old daughter. This woman was beating on that woman, and the whole time she was beating on her, she was saying, you followed me and my kids? Now this woman has been in my face accusing me of doing the same thing when I never did. So what's next for me? Are you trying to do the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
So that's on video as well.
Yeah, I've seen all the videos, and everything's validated for what she's saying. And uh, we're gonna find a way to actually, because most of these videos are not her property. These videos are not her property.
No, she's
Yeah.
following me around to
Yeah.
other channels.
Yeah.
It's always her jumping on a panel where I am or coming to a channel where I am. You guys will see that once I'm able to present that evidence to you. It's never me following her or doing anything. It's her. She came to my house. I didn't go to her house. She could have mailed that letter. You can mail it. She could have mailed it certified mail. She sent somebody to my house.
Yeah.
You know, she's
Yeah.
telling me what grocery stores I'm at. She's telling me about what social gatherings I had and who was there with me and what we did. She's doing all of that on video.
Those people came to your
At
house.
Walmart.
Hold on, let me say this, babe. Those people came to your house while you were addressing some of the scumbag behavior she was participating in, and I'm not sure what that show was about, but I know you was either it had something to do with the lady in California and her being in
No, it
cahoots.
had to do with her trying to say that we were stole money from your friends.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, you were talking about it, and you was really going in, and what happened was that doing that live, Kiki literally got up and answered the door, and this was like a Saturday or something like that. And some young girls, they looked like they were like 18 years old or something like that, right? You say?
Yeah.
They're very young, and they handed her a letter um, during that live. So that means that that just can't be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? It just can't be a coincidence that soon as Kiki rarely ever even talks about this lady. You know what I mean? Even myself, like when I have done videos, I have been just doing videos in response to the slander and defamation that has come my way. But I just don't drop her name for clout. I don't. I don't go to her channel. I don't, none of that. I'm not gonna get gifted a membership or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, go ahead, continue, babe.
Yeah, and I wasn't talking about her during that live. I was proving that we didn't scam anybody. We didn't take anything from anybody. We don't have to.
Yeah, pretty much in
But
response to that interview that
yeah,
took place over there. Yeah.
yeah. So at that time, that's when she sent someone to my house
Mhm.
to tell me to shut up. To tell me I know where you live, and I'll send some. Like, it was intimidation.
Yeah.
So then after that, she's talking about the voodoo crap. No, the voodoo was way before. After that, these false allegations get put on me for stalking someone that's 3,000 miles away from me.
Mhm.
Virtually impossible.
Yeah.
This person provides that person with a copy of this cease and desist or a statement letter or something. The judge wants nothing to do with that. Says, get that out of my face, in California, basically. I'm coming back home, about to get on the airplane, and there's a live going on with the person who took me to court. This person leaves her live and goes over there to the person who I have the restraining order against today. And they're talking about the case and how the one lady, the lady that I have the restraining order on,
Mhm.
BS, is telling the other woman that I went to court with
Now,
that
I'll
she
say
should
their
have
name. It's my show. I'll say their name. It was misunderstood. So misunderstood took Kiki to court under false allegations. Um, Even saying that said that Kiki was violently stalking her. So that was written down. That's not no slander. That's nothing for her to finagle. That's what the hell she wrote down. And we find out that
Well, let me say this too, not to interrupt you. Let me say this: if she thinks she's gonna have me back in the courtroom too, again, I have evidence that they've both been working together, and I have evidence that everything that I'm saying is true. Her information is listed in this court information too, because it's a part of VS stalking and harassing me. So it's in this documentation: the dismissal, the facts of the case, the video of those two talking about the case together and what she should have done and how she should have brought her child's father instead of bringing down Cato.
The white man, yeah.
And what the white man, and what she said that she told her to say. On that video, VS is telling MU, I told you to bring your white husband. You should have held on to him. He should have said he was losing sleep. He should have said it was affecting his business. Like, she's literally telling her on a video live stream the lies that she should have said in order to win her case. And she's saying that she told her that beforehand. The hell?
Mm. So that means this lady was meddling behind the scenes to get you lined up and jacked up on the false pretenses.
Yeah.
So, like, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a situation where Kiki is trying to chase clout. This lady was pushed to these measures because you know this woman has Kiki has seen this woman actually fight someone in real life. She's bumped into this woman a few times. This woman has went as far as trying to go behind the scenes to lay up with men. Suppose that she thought that they done been with and bragged about how she slept with this guy that Kiki that she thought that Kiki dated or whatnot. Um, and so wishing voodoo curses on her. Wishing witchcraft curses and things of that nature. And this is all documented. This is like we're not making absolutely nothing up. Her commingling with that fraud that MU came up with against Kiki. Even as far as I told you this, that, the whole coaching session, and them talking behind the scenes, you know. And to this day, we see that the MU has not MU is more down with that lady than she was with Tracy. So so we see that now. So this has been a effort where against Kiki for a while, and they've been so Kiki was compelled to do what she had to do today, and I'm happy that she got some results. So right now, there's a 60-day protection order effective, up to 2 years, so she can keep dodging process servers or whatever she can keep doing. But up to 2 years, Kiki is going to ensure that she's going to make those court dates to get uh, that thing continued, okay? Because all she's doing is protecting herself. Kiki cannot help if someone has an infatuation or a person that has claimed to have mental issues or whatnot, or whatever they're suffering or going through. That's not Kiki's problem. Okay, so we will show you later today or sometime this week the evidence, or and I even know other ways we can make a Instagram link or whatever it is, because how haters are. They try to hit you for anything, and we'll put it in our community walls that you can see the evidence of, as far as all of the the harassment Kiki has went through. This is unfair. And the thing is, with such a massive platform that BS have had, there's been a lot of harassment. But if it wasn't for you people that are in attendance today, that are here to support myself and Kiki and us collectively in the prime sector in general, and in this section of the B sector too, we really wouldn't have had no support. And we appreciate you guys for being honest and truthful and having integrity and a backbone, against the masses of asses. So we really appreciate y'all on that. So, and then let it be known, like more than anything you've heard today, VS Icon has stated multiple times that she has paperwork on Kiki. Okay, that she's formulating a case against Kiki, and without any definitive description on what wrongdoing or tort or claim of right that she would properly have against Kiki at any given time.
I've done nothing to her. I've done nothing to her.
So what? So the thing is, there's been this effort to like even myself get to uh, say things about me where I get on here and I just go straight heathen and say some things, some gotcha type of things, And then next thing you know, we got court papers or restraining orders and things of that nature. You know, so and we see this time and time again. Somebody's lawsuit happy, and but they don't think that it works both ways. So like I just want to state this for the record, ladies and gentlemen, that are here listening today. That I had this woman coming to my panel multiple times. One time accusing me of fraud, being a fraud and a scammer, and and then also invited a guest that had animus towards me. So I know y'all gonna be using my word animus. That means hatred, or extreme dislike. Okay, I'm educating y'all today. Um, Towards me on her channel, insinuating that I stole money from Rob Rack to go on sold thousands of dollars from Rob Rack to go on a 5-state tour, you know. And so with no evidence, no receipts, nothing. It was just hearsay. It was nothing. Okay. And that's like a Tasha K type of interview that went wrong. You know what I mean? Completely. And that is downloaded. Okay. You know what I mean? I have the full string. So all right, but now we up to the current day, and so we did talk about the misunderstood situation where her working with her to try to basically chump up some charges against you on some bull, and and so like what would you say? What was the point that you really made the decision? Because I don't want to speak for you. What was the point you say? You got to do this because
It was that she kept bragging about sending people to my house. She kept trying to control me when I would go to other platforms and speak about my experience at IHOP. She tried to make it about her, like she owns the rights to what happened at IHOP. Like I'm not able to speak my mind. I'm not able to speak on it. Like she is some owner of the internet, and I'm not allowed to voice how I feel. Also, that entrapment stuff, that trying to set me up, that being sneaky and conniving, that working with other people to pin false charges on me that would affect my career, that would affect my living situation. Some people may look at it as civil and think that it's not a big deal. In the state of Virginia, civil restraining orders show up on your criminal background check. It shows up on your criminal background check. So it absolutely is criminal here in Virginia, even though it's civil. It's one of those weird things. It's in the gray area because if it's showing up on my criminal background check, that means when I apply for a place to live, it comes up. When
mm-hmm.
I get my job does a check every year. A lot of jobs out here in the district are very they have a lot of secure information. You're privy to a lot of stuff, especially in a position like mine. I have access to a lot of systems that the average worker doesn't. I'm involved in building some of those systems even, so I have access to the back end. So they have to make sure that I haven't done anything in my background that will make me a threat to the company or companies that I work with. So that's very important to me. You can't make me lose out on a position behind something fake that you made up on the internet. I mean, I have, gone out here and, drag people or whatever or read them for filth, but I've never posed a threat to anyone, I've never posed a threat to anyone. They are trying to use this little music video that was made a long time ago, but that was over 5 years ago. That's like over half a decade ago. Where I said some stupid stuff, but I'm not even gonna highlight that here because that's just they're reaching. And they actually changed my name on the video to Kiki Baby, but it's funny because the video says 3 years ago, and my name wasn't Miss Kiki Baby Prime 3 years ago. My name was just Kiki the First Lady. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, what are your plans, like, after the 60 days? I think you touched on it briefly, and then after that, I'm gonna drop the link. I know you, but you're on the phone. So, for everyone that's coming in, Kiki is on the phone. So, it's one of those situations like when Rob called in live a few times. She won't be able to hear you guys. So, are you in a clear space?
Uh, I'm in a clear space, but you can show my community wall right now. I just put a copy of the protection order there. I need to make sure I make copies of this because I have to keep a copy on me at all times, so
All right,
that
just scan it to the phone.
if if I'm huh?
Just scan it to the phone. But go ahead. Yeah.
I shared it on my community wall.
Mhm.
You want me to send you a screenshot of it?
Oh nah, fine. You fine. All right. So what I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna share this tab.
Um.
I'm sharing it
Oh,
right
you're
now.
saying to just take a screenshot of it with my phone so I can have it on me at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that way, if I'm in those places that she mentioned, like I saw you here and you were afraid to da 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 da. If I am afraid and I call the police officer in those spaces, she will be arrested. This
Mhm.
preliminary protective order is a protection order. At the end of the day, when I spoke to the attorney, I would give her name, but you guys are so crazy that I can't. But she let me know that this protection order is the same. So he basically gave you a protection order.
Okay.
It's just that you can't. It's just that the only thing is you have to keep going back to renew it instead of it just being on there, and that's fine. Every couple of months, I may need a break. I mean, I do a lot of business here on my own. My job is very generous. I've been there a long time, so I do get a lot of vacation days. I have personal days, so that's that's no problem for me.
All right. Let me blow it up for y'all so y'all can see it. All right. So y'all see, you got the judge's signature. And was started.
Protection is for my daughter too. Stay away from my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Members of the household too. Yeah. So we got. So we see where we got receipts here, y'all. So we got 12/27/2023. That's when it expires. So all she gotta do is show up to keep that continued. And the whole thing is, if the lady wants to, she's supposed to be all with the courts. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be known for the courts. So, she should just go ahead and show up and get that popping and get that done.
Yeah, and I let the court know that she is aware because she's posted that she's having a brunch at IHOP today. So that lets me know that she's aware, and she also made a post that said restrain these nuts. I put that in my court packet as well. So thank you for those updates, ma'am.
Okay. So, we ain't do nothing but expose the facts or whatever. I'll drop my link for a little bit, and I know that I'll drop the link for a little bit, and but I'll just relay the questions for what they're saying through the phone, unless you want to come back on the link if you're in a better space. But you still driving?
No, I don't. I don't have to come back on the link. I can just do it from here.
Okay. So we're not gonna we not we, I'm not gonna be here long, guys. Like I know we saying I ain't gonna be here long. So
Yeah, I gotta
I'm like
go.
Judah over in the country. I gotta leave in a minute, and be there for another 5 hours or whatever. But it's been a sweet and please if you come up, we let's be respectful and not too use too much profanity or whatnot, and you know
Make sure you don't get porn bombed, child.
yeah. Oh, I got that covered. I got that covered. Okay, so the link is dropped. Um, ain't gonna be no P bomb because in truth, if I don't know you, you know what I mean. Hey, you gotta work your way up to for me to know you. Um, how you doing, Keisha? Bishop, Lordy B, Cat. We ain't seen you in a long time. Black Excellence, LGI, Morticia, Shani. Who else we have here? I know I seen Joe, RMD for sure. How you doing? Um, so we have a one up. Um, somebody said, well, somebody have a question. One up. It's like my only question is, and I think I know who talked like that. And then look like a troll page. Why not move in silence?
Why
Honestly
should I?
asking.
Why should I? Why should I? Why shouldn't people know that I'm being stalked and harassed so that if they see something, they can say something? I'm a
Mhm.
victim. I'm not a defendant. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
People try to silence victims. You can't silence a victim. That's why.
Yeah, and we do have the power of social media. So, um, we have medium-sized platforms within these sectors, so we're gonna take advantage of that if we have
Yeah.
issues.
So when you see her appearing spaces, when I'm in spaces and I'm up on platforms and you see her bragging about porn bombing those platforms, you will know that she is further harassing and antagonizing me. That's why not stay silent, so that people know.
Mm-hmm.
And if people decide to be witnesses to what they've seen, then they can. If people want to take screenshots, if people want to take videos, I'm not always everywhere online. Other people can do it, and it will just add to the file because I'm not bothering this woman. This woman is harassing and stalking me, and it's time for a change.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Tyler. My first time seeing you, and say Jesus Christ follower. Peace to you, Tyler. And so I'm looking at it right now. So who we got somebody back? But yeah, so they basically was saying Kiki. Hold on. Oh yeah, I know you're in the back. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna check you out. So I'm reading right now. Um, Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Prime. Kiki, you are brave. Never forget that. Anxiety, trauma, and PTSD is definitely something real. But God's grace is sufficient to sustain us. Stay prayed up. No weapon formed. So, what's going